Welcome to BVU Theater Remembers, the wit and wisdom of Shakespeare in replay. I'm Bethany Larson.
And I'm David Walker. To commemorate Buena Vista University's theater department as it comes to an end, we're showing a series of past productions of Shakespeare, accompanied by recent clips of theater alumni performing monologues and sharing memories of their time in the department.
In this clip, alumnus Chris Staggs performs a monologue from Henry IV.
Oh, 'tis not due yet. I would be loath to pay him before his day. I mean, what need I be so forward with him that calls not on me? Well, no matter. Honor pricks me on. Yeah. And how if honor pricks me off when I come on? How then? Can honor set to a leg? No. Or an arm? No. Or remove the grief from a wound? No. But honor hath no skill in surgery, then? No. So what is honor? A word. And what is in this word? Honor? What is this? Honor? Air. A trim reckoning. And who hath it? Oh, he that died a Wednesday. Oh, doth he feel it? No. Doth he hear it? No. 'Tis insensible then? Yeah, to the dead. Oh, but will it not live with the living? No. Why? Detraction will not suffer it. Therefore, I'll none of it. Honor is a mere truncheon. And so ends my catechism.
Thank you, Chris. This week, we are showing the 2003 production of The Merchant of Venice.
It was really interesting for that particular show because it was an interim show. It was actually a class that was designed to put on a production, Shakespeare in 30 days.
And they all had to work on their costumes, on the props, on the set. They did everything. And then they were all in the show.
Yeah. We had a lot of techies that were in the show for the very first time, and I remember them just being terrified that they were going to screw up. And so many of them just had to stand there and do different things, but they were still just like,
yeah,
it was nuts.
Yeah, and the play has a really fraught kind of reputation, whether or not there is prejudice. And we made every effort to give the play a kind of redemptive ending.
Yeah, lots of fun. So now it's time for the show. Silence your cell phones, grab some popcorn, prepare for the 2003 production of Merchant of Venice.
sad. It wearies me. You say it wearies you. But how I caught it, found it, or came by it. What stuff 'tis made of, I am to learn. And such a want with sadness makes of me that I have much ado to know myself.
Your mind is tossing on the ocean, there where your argosies with portly sail, like seniors and rich burghers on the flood, or, as it were, the pageants of the sea do overpeer the petty traffickers that curtsy to them. Do them reverence as they fly by them with their woven wings.
Believe me, sir, had I such venture forth, the better part of my affections would be with my hopes abroad. I should be still plucking the grass to know where sits the wind, peering in maps for ports and piers and roads, and any objects that might make me fear misfortune to my ventures, out of doubt would make me sad.
Shall I have the thought to think on this? And shall I lack the thought that such a thing perchance would make me sad? But tell not me. I know Antonio is sad to think upon his merchandise.
Believe me, no. I thank my fortune for it. For my ventures are not in one bottom trusted, nor to one place, nor is my whole estate upon the fortune of this present year. Therefore my merchandise makes me not sad.
Why then you are in love.
Fie.
Not in love neither. Then let us say you are sad because you are not married, and 'twere easy for you to laugh and leap and say you are merry because you are not sad. Now by two-headed Eunice, nature hath framed strange fellows in her time.
Here comes Bassanio, your most noble kinsman, Gratiano and Lorenzo. Fare you well, sir. We leave you now with better company.
I would have stayed till I had made you married, had worthier company not prevented me.
Your worth is very dear in my regard. Your own business calls on you, I take it, and you embrace the occasion to depart.
Good morrow, my good lords.
Good signors both, when shall we laugh? Say when. You grow exceeding strange, must it be so?
We'll make our leisures to attend on yours.
My lord Bassanio, since you have found Antonio, we too will not leave you. But at dinner time, I pray you have in mind where we must move.
I will not fail you.
You look not well, Signor Antonio. You have too much respect upon the world. They lose it that buy it with much care. Believe me, you are marvelously changed.
I hold the world but as the world, Gratiano. A stage where every man must play a part. And mine a sad one.
Then let me play the fool. With mirth and laughter let old wrinkles come. And let my liver rather heat with wine than my heart cool with mortifying groans. Why should a man whose blood is warm within sit like his grandsire cut in alabaster? Sleep when he wakes and creep into the jaundice by being peevish. I tell thee what, Antonio, I love thee, and it is my love that speaks. But there are a sort of men whose visages do cream and mantle like a standing pond, and do a willful stillness entertain, with purpose to be dressed in an opinion of wisdom, gravity, profound conceit, as who should say, I am Sir Oracle, and when I open my lips, let no dog bark. Oh, Antonio, I do know of these that therefore are only reputed for saying nothing, when, if they should speak, would almost damn those ears, which hearing them, would call their brothers fools. I'll tell thee more of this another time, but fish not with this melancholy bait for this fool gudgeon, this opinion. Come, good Lorenzo, fare ye well a while. I'll end my exhortation after dinner.
Well, we'll leave you then till dinner time. I must be one of these same dumb wise men, for Gratiano never lets me speak.
Will keep my company but 2 years mo. And thou shalt not know the sound of thine own tongue.
Gratiano speaks an infinite deal of nothing, more than any man in all Venice. His words are as 2 grains of wheat hid in 2 bushel of chaff. You shall seek all day ere you find them, and when you have them, they are not worth the search.
Well, tell me now, Bassanio, what lady is the same to whom you swore a secret pilgrimage that you today promised to tell me of?
'Tis not unknown to you, Antonio, how much I have disabled mine estate, by something showing a more swelling port than my faint means would grant continuance. Nor do I now make a moan to be abridged from such a noble rate, but my chief care is to come cleanly off the great debts wherein my time something too prodigal hath left me gauged. I owe you the most, in money and in love. And from your love I have a warranty to unburden all my plots and purposes, how to get clear of all debts I owe.
I pray you, let me know it. and if it stand, as you yourself still do within the eye of honor, be assured my purse, my person, my extremest means lie all unlocked to your occasions.
In my school days, when I had lost one shaft, I shot his fellow of the self-same flight, the self-same way, with more advised watch. And, in adventuring both, I oft found both. I urge this childhood proof because what follows is pure innocence. I owe you much, and like a willful youth, that which I owe is lost. But if you would please to shoot another arrow that self-same way which you did shoot the first, I do not doubt, as I will watch the aim, to find both, or to bring your latter hazard back again, and thankfully rest deader for the first.
You know me well, and herein spend but time to wind about my love the circumstance. And out of doubt you do me now more wrong in making question of my uttermost, than if you had made waste of all that I have. Then do but say what I should do, that in your knowledge may by me be done, and I am pressed unto it. Therefore speak.
In Belmont, there is a lady richly left, and she is fair, and fairer than that word of wondrous virtues. Sometimes from her eyes I did receive fair speechless messages. Her name is Portia, nor is the wide world ignorant of her worth, for the four winds blowing from every coast renowned suitors. Oh, my Antonio, had I the means to hold a rival place with but one of them, I have a mind presages me such thrift that I should questionless be fortunate.
Thou knowest that all my fortunes are at sea. Neither have I money nor commodity to raise a present sum. Therefore, go forth, try what my credit can in Venice do. Let it be racked to the uttermost to furnish thee to Belmont to fair Portia. Go, presently inquire, and so will I, where money is, and I no question make to have it of my trust or for my sake.
Abundance as your good fortunes are, and yet for aught I see, there is sick that surfeit with too much as they that starve with nothing.
Good sentences and well pronounced.
They would be better if well followed.
If to do were as easy as to know what were good to do, chapels and good churches, and poor men's cottages, princes' palaces. It is a good divine that follows his own instructions. I can easier teach 20 what were good to be done, than be one of the 20 to follow mine own teachings. The brain may devise laws for the blood, but a hot temper leaps o'er a cold decree. But this reasoning is not in the fashion to choose me a husband. Oh me, the word choose. I may neither choose whom I would, nor refuse whom I dislike. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. Is it not hard, Marissa, that I cannot choose one, nor refuse none?
Your father was ever virtuous, and holy men at their death have good inspirations. Therefore the lottery that he hath devised in these 3 chests of gold, silver, and lead, whereof who chooses his meaning chooses you, will no doubt never be chosen by any rightly, but one who shall rightly love. But what warmth is there in your affection towards any of these princely suitors that are already come?
I pray thee overname them, and as thou namest them, I will describe them, and according to my description, level at my affection.
First there is the Neapolitan prince.
Aye, that's a colt indeed, for he doth nothing but to talk of his horse, and to make such a great appropriation to his own good parts that he can shew him himself. I am much afeard my lady his mother played false with the smith.
Then there is the County Palatine.
Why, he doth nothing but frown. He hears merry tales and smiles not. I fear he will prove the weeping philosopher when he grows old, being so full of unmannerly sadness in his youth. God defend me from these two.
How say you by the French lord, Monsieur Les Beaux?
God hath made him, and therefore let him pass for a man. In truth, I know it is a sin to be a mocker, but why, he hath a horse better than the Neapolitans, a better bad habit of frowning than the Count Palatine. He is every man in no man. If at throstle sing he falls straight a capering, he will fence with his own shadow. If I should marry him, I should marry 20 husbands. If he were to despise me, I would forgive him, for if he loved me tremendous, I shall never requite him.
What say you then to Falconbridge, the young Baron of England?
know why I say nothing to him, for he understands not me, nor I him. He hath neither Latin, French, nor Italian, and he will come into court and swear I have a poor pennyworth in the English. He is a proper man's picture, but alas, who can converse with a dumb show?
How like you the young German, the Duke of Saxony's nephew?
Very vilely in the morning when he is sober, and most vilely in the afternoon when he is drunk. When he is best, he's little worse than a man, and when he is worse, he's little better than a beast. The worst fall that ever fell, I hope I should make shift to go without him.
If he should offer to choose, and choose the right casket, you should refuse to perform your father's will if you should refuse to accept him.
Therefore, for fear of the worst, I pray thee, set a deep glass of Rhenish wine on the contrary casket. For if the devil be within, and that temptation without, I know he will choose it. I'll do anything, Nerissa, ere I'll be married to a sponge.
You need not fear, lady, the having any of these lords. They have acquainted me with their determinations, which is indeed to return to their home and to trouble you with no more suit, unless you may be won by some other sort than your father's imposition, depending on the casket.
If I live to be as old as Sibylla, I will die as chaste as Diana, unless I be obtained by the manner of my father's will. I am glad this parcel of wooers are so reasonable, for there is not one among them but I dote on his very absence. And I pray God grant them a fair departure.
Do you not remember, lady, in your father's time, a Venetian, a scholar, and a soldier who came company in hither of Marquis of Montferrat?
Yes, yes, it was Bassanio, as I think so was he called.
True, madam. He of all the men that ever my foolish eyes looked upon was the best deserving a fair lady.
I remember him well, and I remember him worthy of thy praise.
$3,000 ducats.
Aye, sir, and for 3 months.
For 3 months. Well,
For the which, as I told you, Antonio shall be bound.
Antonio shall become bound. Well,
May you stead me? Will you pledge me? Shall I know your answer?
3,000 months. 3,000 ducats for 3 months and Antonio bound?
Your answer to that.
Antonio is a good man.
Have you heard any imputation to the contrary?
Oh, no. My meaning in saying he is a good man is to have you understanding that he is sufficient. Yet his means are in supposition. He hath an argosy bound to Tripoli, another to the Indies. Upon the Rialto, I understand that he hath a third at Mexico, a fourth for England. Another ventures he hath squandered abroad. And ships are but boards, sailors but men. There be land rats and water thieves and land thieves, pirates. And then there is the peril of waters, winds, and rocks. 3,000 ducats. I think I may take his bond.
You may be assured.
I will be assured I may, and that I may be assured I will bethink me. May I speak with Antonio?
If it please you to dine with us.
Yes, to smell pork, to eat of the habitation which your prophet the Nazarite conjured the devil into. I will buy with you, sell with you, walk with you, talk with you, and so following, but I will not eat with you, drink with you, nor pray with you. What news in the Rialto? Who is he comes here?
This is Signor Antonio.
How like a fawning publican he looks. I hate him for he is a Christian, but more for that in low simplicity he lends out money gratis and brings down the rate of usance here with us in Venice. If I can catch him once upon the hip, I will feed fat the ancient grudge I bear him. He hates our sacred nation, and he rails, even there where merchants most do congregate, on me, my bargains and my well-won thrift, which he calls interest. Cursed be my tribe if I forgive him.
Shylock, do you hear?
I am debating of my present store, and by the near guess of my memory, I cannot instantly raise up the gross of full 3,000 ducats. What of that? Tubal, a wealthy Hebrew of my tribe, shall furnish me. But soft, how many months do you desire? Rest you, fair, good signor. Your worship was the last man in our mouths.
Shylock, although I neither lend nor borrow by taking nor by giving of excess, yet to supply the right wants of my friends, I'll break a custom. Is he yet possessed how much we would?
Aye, 3,000 ducats.
And for 3 months.
I had forgot. 3 months. You told me so. Well, then your bond, and let me see. But hear you, methought you said you neither lend nor borrow upon advantage.
I do never use it.
3,000 ducats. 'Tis a good round sum. 3 months from 12, and then let me see, the rate...
Shylock, Shall we be beholding to you?
Signor Antonio, many a time and oft on the Rialto you have rated me about my moneys and my usances. Still have I borne it with a patient shrug, for sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. You called me misbeliever, cutthroat dog, and spit upon my Jewish gabardine and all for use of that which is mine own. Well, sir, now it appears you need my help. Go to, then. You come to me and you say, Shylock, we would have moneys. You say so, you that did void your room upon my beard, and foot me as you spurn a stranger cur over your threshold. Moneys is your suit. What should I say to you? Shall I not say, hath a dog moneys? Is it possible a cur can lend 3,000 ducats? Or shall I bend low and in a bondman's key, with bated breath and whispering humbleness, say this, fair sir, you spit on me on Wednesday last. You spurned me such a day, and another time you called me dog. And for these courtesies, I'll lend you thus much moneys.
I am as like to call thee so again, to spit on thee again, to spurn thee too. If thou wilt lend this money, lend it not as to thy friend. For when did friendship take on a breed for barren metal? Lend it rather to thine enemy, whom if he breaks, thou can better exact face the penalty.
Why, look you, how you storm. I would be friends with you and have your love. Forget the shames that you have stained me with. Supply your present wants, and take no dote of usance for my moneys, and you'll not hear me. This is kind I offer.
This were kindness.
This kindness will I show. Go with me to a notary's. Seal me there your single bond, and in a merry sport, if you repay me not on such a day, in such a place, such sum or sums as are expressed in the condition, let the forfeit be nominated for an equal pound of your fair flesh, to be taken and cut off whatever part of your body pleaseth me.
Content of faith. I'll steal into such a bond and say there is much kindness in the Jew.
You shall not seal to such a bond for me. I'd rather dwell in my necessity.
Fear not, man, for in 2 months, that is a month before this bond expires, I do expect return of thrice 3 times the amount.
Oh, Father Abram, what these Christians are, whose own hard dealings teaches them suspected thoughts of others. Pray you, sir, tell me this. If he should break his day, what should I gain from the exaction of the forfeiture? A pound of man's flesh taken from a man is not so esteemable, profitable neither as flesh of muttons, beefs, or goats. I say to buy his friendship, I extend this courtesy. If he take it, so. If not, adieu, and for my love, I pray you, wrong me not.
Shylock, I will seal into this bond.
Then meet me forthwith at the notary's. Give him direction for this merry bond, and I will go and purse the ducats straight. See to my house, left in the fearful guard of an unthrifty knave, and then I will be with you presently.
Aye, the gentle Jew. The Hebrew will turn Christian. He grows kind.
I like not fair terms in a villain's mind.
Come on. In this there can be no dismay. My ships will come home a month before the day.
conscience will serve me to run from this Jew, my master. The fiend. The fiend is at mine elbow and tempts me, saying to me, Good Launcelot Gobble, do not run. Scorn running with thy heels. Well, my conscience says, No, Launcelot Gobble, do not run. While the fiend says, Via, away, says the fiend. For the heavens rose up a brave mind, says the fiend, and run. My conscience, hanging about the neck of my heart, says to me very wisely, my honest friend Launcelot Gobble, being of an honest man's son, or rather an honest woman's son, for my father did something smack, something grow too, he had a kind of taste. Well, my conscience says, budge not. Budge, says the fiend. Budge not, says the conscience. Conscience, say I, you counsel well. Fiend, say I, you counsel well. To be ruled by my conscience, I should stay with the Jew, my master, who, God bless the mark, is a very kind of devil himself. To run away from the Jew, I should be ruled by the fiend, who, God bless the mark, is a very devil. Well, my conscience is but a very hard conscience to offer him to counsel me to stay with the Jew. Certainly the Jew is a very devil incarnal. Well, I shall run. Fiend, I shall run. My heels are at your command, so I will not rest till I run some ground. Oh, real fortune. Here comes Master Bassanio.
You may do so, but let it be so hasted that supper be ready at the farthest by 5 o'clock. See these letters delivered, and acquire Graciano to come on to my lodging.
God bless your worship, sir.
Gramercy, what's thou art with me?
I have a great infection, as one would say. The short and long is, I serve the Jew and have desire. While this suit is important to myself...
What would you?
Serve you, sir. That is the very fact of the matter.
I know thee well. Shylock, thy master, hath spoken with me this day, and hath preferred thee, if it be preferment to leave a rich Jew's service to become the follower of so poor a gentleman.
Well, the proverb is very well parted between my master Shylock and you, sir. You have the grace of God, and he hath none.
Thou speakst it well. Go, take leave of thy master, inquire my lodging out, give him a livery more guarded than his fellows, see it done. And I pray thee, good Leonardo, think on this. These things being bought and orderly bestowed must return in haste, for I do feast tonight my best esteemed acquaintance.
My best endeavors shall be done herein.
Where is thy master?
Yonder, sir, he walks.
Bassanio!
Graciano!
I have a suit to you.
Oh! You have obtained it.
You must not deny me. I must come with you to Belmont.
Why then you must. But hear thee, Graciano. Thou art too wild, too rude, and bold of voice. Parts that become thee happily enough, and in such eyes as ours appear not faults. Where thou art not known, why there they show something a bit too liberal. I pray thee, take pains to allay with some cold drops of modesty thy skipping spirit, lest through wild behavior I be misconstrued in the place I go to and lose my hopes.
My good Bassanio, hear me. If I do not put on a sober habit, swear, but now and then, wear prayer books in my pockets, and look demurely. Nay more, while Grace is saying, hood mine eyes thus with my hat, and sigh and say amen. Use all observance of civility, like one well studied to, in a sad extent, to please his grandam. Never trust me more.
Well, we shall see your bearing.
Nay, but I bar tonight. You shall not gauge me by what I do tonight.
No, that were pity. I would entreat you rather to put on your boldest suit of mirth, for we have friends that purpose merriment. But fare you well, I have some business.
I'll go to Lorenzo and the rest, but we'll visit you after supper time.
leave my father so. Our house is hell. Thou, a merry devil, didst rob it of some taste of tediousness. But fare thee well. There is a ducat for thee. And Launcelot, soon at supper, shalt thou see Lorenzo, who is thy new master's guest. Give him this letter. Do it secretly. But farewell. I would not have my father see me and talk with thee.
Adieu. Tears do exalt my tongue, most sweet pagan, most beautiful Jew. I am much deceived if a Christian did not play the name and get thee. But adieu. These foolish drops do something drown my manly spirits. Adieu.
Farewell, good Launcelot. Alas, what heinous sin it is in me to be ashamed to be my father's child. But though I am daughter to his blood, I am not to his manners. Oh, Lorenzo, if thou keep promise, I shall end this strife, become a Christian in thy loving way.
Nay, we will slink away at supper time, disguise in the lodging, and return, all in an hour.
We have not yet made good preparation.
We have not spoke as yet of torchbearers.
'Tis vile, unless it be quaintly ordered, and better in my mind, not undertook.
'Tis but 4 o'clock. We have 2 hours to furnish us. Friend Lancelot, what's the news?
Shall please to break this up, shall seem to signify.
I know the hand. In faith, 'tis a fair hand, and whiter than the paper writ on is a fair hand that ring.
Love news, in faith.
By your leave, sir,
Whither goest thou?
to invite my old master Jew to sup tonight with my new master Christian.
Hold here. Take this. Tell gentle Jessica I will not fail her. Speak it privately. Go, gentlemen. Will you prepare you for this mass? I am provided of a torchbearer.
I am Mary, I'll be gone about straight.
And so will I.
Meet me in Gratiano, at Gratiano's lodging, somehow or hence.
'Tis good we do so.
'Tis from fair Jessica?
I must needs tell thee all. She hath directed me out. I shall take her from her father's house, what gold and jewels she is furnished with. Fair the Jew, her father come to heaven, it should be for his gentle daughter's sake. And never dare let misfortune cross her foot, unless it be under this excuse, that she is issue to a faithless Jew. Come, go with me. Peruse this as thou goest. Fair Jessica shall be my torchbearer.
Thou shalt see. Thou I shall be the judge, the difference of old Shylock and Bassanio. What, Jessica? Thou shalt not gormandize as thou hast done with me. What, Jessica? And sleep and snore and rend apparel out. Why, Jessica, I say!
Why, Jessica?
Who didst thee call? I do not bid thee call.
You were once to tell me, sir, that I could do nothing without bidding.
Call you, what is your will?
I am bid forth to supper, Jessica. Here, there are my keys. But wherefore do I go? I'm not bid for love, they flatter me. But yet I'll go in hate to feed upon the prodigal Christian. Jessica, my dear, look to my house. I am right loath to go. There is some ill brewing towards my rest, for I did dream of money bags tonight.
Go, sir, I do beseech you, my master doth await your approach.
So do I his.
And they have conspired together. I will not say I've seen a mask.
What? Are there masks? Jessica, my dear, lock up my house. And when you hear the drum and the vile squealing of the Rhine Act 5, clamber not you up to the casements then, nor thrust your head into the public street to gaze on Christian fools with varnished faces, but stop my house's ears, my casements. Let not the sound of shallow foppery enter my sober house. Oh, by Jacob's staff I swear, I have no force of feasting forth tonight. But I will go. Go you before me, Sirrah. Say I will come.
I will go before you, sir. Mistress, look out to all of this. There will come a Christian boy,
worth a Jew's eye.
What says that fool of Haggard's offspring, huh?
His words were, farewell, mistress, nothing else.
The patch is kind enough, but a huge feeder snails slow in profit, and he sleeps by day more than the wildcat. Drones hive not with me, and therefore I part with him, and part with him to one that would have him help to waste his borrowed purse. Well, go in, Jessica. Perhaps I will return immediately. Now do as I bid you. Shut doors after you. Fast find, a proverb never stale in thrifty mind.
Farewell. And if my fortune be not crossed, I have a father, you a daughter lost.
This is the penthouse under which Lorenzo desired us to make a stand.
His hour is almost past.
It is marvel he outdwells his hour, for lovers ever run before the clock.
Oh, 10 times faster Venus's pigeons fly to seal love's bonds new made than they are wont to keep obliged faith unforfeited.
And that ever holds. Who riseth from a feast with that same keen appetite with which he sits? Where's the horse that doth untread those tedious measures with unbated fire that he did pace them first? All it is with more spirit chased than enjoyed.
Here comes Lorenzo. More of this hereafter?
Sweet friends, your patience for my long abode. Not I, but my affairs have made you wait. When you shall please to play thieves for wives, I shall stand as long for you then. Approach. Here dwells my father Jew. Ho! Who's within?
Who are you? Tell me for more certainty, albeit I'll swear that I do know your tongue.
Lorenzo, and thy love.
Lorenzo, certain, and my love indeed. For who love I so much? And now who knows but you, Lorenzo, whether I am yours?
Heaven, and thy thoughts are witness that thou art.
Here, catch this casket. It is worth the pains. I'm glad 'tis night, yet do not look on me. I'm much ashamed of my exchange. But love is blind, and lovers cannot see the pretty follies that they themselves commit. For if they could, Cupid himself would blush to see me thus transformed into a boy.
Descend, for you must be my torchbearer.
What, and hold a candle to my shames? They themselves, good sooth, are too light. Why, 'tis an office of discovery, love, and I should be obscured.
So are you sweet, even in lovely garnish of a boy, but come at once. For the close night doth play the runaway. We are stayed for Bassanio's feast.
I will make fast the doors and gild myself with some more ducats, and be with thee straight.
Now by my hood, a gentle and no Jew.
Beshrew me, for I love her heartily. For she is wise, if I can judge of her. Fair she is, if mine own eyes be true, and true she is, as she hath proved herself. So like herself, wise, fair, and true, shall she be placed in my constant soul. What art thou come? Come, gentlemen. I'm asking mates by this time for a stay.
Who's there?
Signor Antonio?
Fie, Graciano, where are all the rest? 'Tis 9 o'clock, our friends all stay for you. No mass tonight, the winds have come about. Bassanio presently will go aboard. I have sent 20 out to seek for you.
I'm glad on't. I desire no more delight than to be under sail and gone tonight.
Why, man, I saw Bassanio under sail. With him is Graciano gone along. And in their ship, I am sure Lorenzo is not.
The villain Jew with outcries raised the Duke, who went with him to search Bassanio's ship.
He came too late. The ship was already under sail. But there the Duke was given to understand that in a gondola were seen together Lorenzo and his amorous Jessica. Besides, Antonio certified the Duke that they were not with Bassanio and his ship.
Never have I heard a passion so strange, so confused, outrageous, and so variable as the dog Jew did utter in the streets. My daughter! Oh, my ducats! Oh, my daughter, fled with a Christian! Oh, my Christian ducats! Justice, the law, my ducats and my daughter! A sealed bag. 2 sealed bags of ducats, of Let good Antonio look he keep his day, or he shall pay for this.
Very well remembered. I reasoned with a Frenchman yesterday who told me that in the narrow seas that part the French and English, there miscarried a vessel of our country richly fraught. I thought upon Antonio when he told me and wished in silence it were not his.
You were best to tell him what you hear, yet do not suddenly, for it may grieve him.
A kinder gentleman treads not the earth. I saw Bassanio and Antonio part. Bassanio told him he would make some speed of his return. He answered, "Do not so." And even there, his eyes being big with tears, he wrung Bassanio's hand, and so they parted.
Oh, I think he loves only the world for him. I pray thee, let us go and find him out, and quicken his embraced heaviness with some delight or other.
Do we so?
Madam, there is a lighted at your gate, a young Venetian, one that comes before to signify the approaching of his lord, from whom he bringeth sensible regret, to wit besides commends and courteous breath, gifts of rich value. Yet I had not seen so likely an ambassador of love. A day in April never came so sweet to show how costly summer was at hand, as this phosphor comes before his lord.
No more, I pray thee. I'm half afeard that would say anon he is some kin to thee, thou spend such high day rate in praising him. Come, come, Larissa, for I long to see quick Cupid's host that comes so mannerly.
Bassanio, Lord love, if thy will it be.
Now, what news upon the Rialto?
Why, yet it lives there unchecked that Antonio hath a ship of rich lading wrecked on the narrow seas. The Goodwins, as I think they call the place, a very dangerous, flat and fatal, where the carcasses of many a tall ship lie buried, as it were, if my gossip report be an honest woman of her word.
I would she were as lying a gossip, and that has ever napped ginger, or made her neighbors believe she wept for the death of a third husband. But it is true that the good Antonio, the honest Antonio, oh, that I had a title good enough to keep his name company.
Come, the full stop.
What sayest thou? Why, in the end, he hath lost a ship.
I would it might prove the end of his losses.
Let me say amen betimes, since the devil crossed my prayer. For here he comes in the likeness of a Jew. How now, Shylock? What news among the merchants?
You know, none so well as you of my daughter's flight.
That's certain. I, for my part, knew the tailor that made the wings she flew withal.
And Shylock, for his own part, knew the bird was fledged.
Oh, she is damned for it.
That's certain if the devil may be her judge.
My own flesh and blood to rebel.
Out upon it, old carrion, rebels it at these years?
I say my daughter is my flesh and blood.
And there is more difference between thy flesh and hers than between jet and ivory. More difference between your bloods than between red wine and Rhenish. But tell us, do you hear whether Antonio had any loss at sea or no?
There I have another bad match. A bankrupt, a prodigal who dares scarce show his head on the Rialto. A bankrupt that was wont to come so smug upon the mark. Let him look to his bond. He was wont to call me a usurer. Let him look to his bond. He was wont to lend money for a Christian courtesy. Let him look to his bond.
Why, I am sure if he will forfeit, thou will not take his flesh. What's that good for?
To bait fish withal. If it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me, and hindered me $500,000, mocked at my losses, laughed at my gains, scorned my nation, cooled my friends, heated my enemies, and what's his reason? I'm a Jew. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions? Fed by the same food, hurt by the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means? Warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is? If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? And if you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? Oh, if we were alike you and the rest, we shall resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his sufferance? Why, revenge? But if a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by Christian example? Revenge. The villainy you teach me, I will execute, and it will go hard, but I will better the instruction.
Gentlemen, my master Antonio is at his house and desires to speak with you both. We have been up and down to seek him.
Here comes another of the tribe. A third cannot be matched lest the devil himself turn Jew.
How now, Tubal? What news from Genoa? Hast thou found my daughter?
I often came where I did hear her, but cannot find her.
Why, there. The diamond gone. The curse of our nation never fell till now. I never felt it till now. I would she were dead at my feet, and the ducat in her ear. I would she were hearse at my foot, and the diamonds in her coffin. What, no news of them? Why so? And I know not what is spent in the search. Why then, loss upon loss, the thief gone with so much and so much to find the thief. And no satisfaction, no revenge, nor no luck in any but what lights on my shoulders. No sighs but of my breathing. No tears but of my shedding.
Yes, other men have ill luck too. Antonio, as I heard in Genoa.
What? Ill luck?
Hath an argosy cast away, coming from Tripoli.
Is true? Is true?
I spoke with some of the sailors that escaped the wreck.
Where? In Genoa?
There came divers of Antonio's creditors in my company to Venice that swear he cannot choose but break.
Oh, I am glad of it. I'll plague him. I'll torture him. I am glad of it.
One of them showed me a ring he had of your daughter for a monkey.
Out upon her! Don't torturous me, Tubal. It was my turquoise. I had it of Leia when I was a bachelor. I would not have given it for a wilderness of monkeys.
But Antonio is certainly undone.
Nay, that's true. That's very true. Go, Tubal. If you meet an officer, bespeak him a fortnight before. I will have the heart of him if he forfeit. For were he out of Venice, I can make what merchandise I will. Go, good Tubal. Meet me at our synagogue. Go, good Tubal. At our synagogue, Tubal.
Before you hazard, for in choosing wrong I lose your company. Therefore forbear a while. There's something tells me, but it is not love I would not lose you. And you know yourself, hate counsels not in such quality. But, lest you should not understand me well, and yet maiden hath no tongue but thought, I would detain you here some month or two before you venture for me. And I could teach you how to choose right. But I am then forsworn, so will I never be. So may you miss me. But if you do, you'll make me wish a sin that I have been forsworn. Beshrew your eyes. They have o'erlooked me and divided me. One half of me is yours, the other half yours. Mine own, I would say, but if mine, then yours, and so are yours. Oh, these naughty times put bars between the owners and their rights.
So though yours, not yours. Prove it so. Let fortune go to hell for it, not I. I speak too long, but 'tis to peace the time, to eke it and draw it out in length, to stay you from election.
Let me choose, for as I am, I live upon the rack.
Upon the rack, Bassanio, then confess what treason there is mingled with your love.
None but that ugly treason of mistrust, which makes me fear the enjoying of my love. There may as well be amity in life between snow and fire, as treason in my love.
Aye, but I fear you speak upon the rack, where men enforced do speak anything.
Promise me life and I'll confess.
Well then, confess and live.
Confess and love had been the very sum of my confession. Oh, happy torment when my torturer doth teach me answers for deliverance. But let me to my fortune and the caskets.
Away then. I am locked in one of them. If you do love me, you will find me out. Nerissa and the rest stand all aloof. Let music sound when he doth make his choice. Live thou, I live. With much more dismay I view the fight, than thou that makest the fray.
So, may the outward shows belease themselves. The world is still deceived with ornament. In law, what plea so tainted and corrupt, but seasoned with a gracious voice, obscures the show of evil? In religion, what damned error but some sober brow will bless it and approve it with a text, hiding the grossness with fair ornament? There is no vice so simple, but that which assumes some mark of virtue on its outward parts. Therefore, ornament is but the guiled shore to a most dangerous sea. Therefore, thou gaudy gold, hard food for Midas, I will none of thee. Nor none of thee, thou stale and common drudge between man and man, but thou. Thou meager lead, that which rather threatenest than dost promise aught, thy plainness moves me more than eloquence. So here choose I. Joy be the consequence.
Oh, all the other passions fleet to airs, doubtful thoughts and rash embrace despair and shuddering fear and green-eyed jealousy. Oh, love, be moderate. In measure reign thy joy, scant this excess. I feel too much thy blessing. Make it less, for fear I surfeit.
What find I here? Fair Portia's counterfeit. What demigod hath come so near creation? Move these eyes? Or whether writing on the balls of mine seem they in motion? Here are parted lips, parted with sugar breath. It's sweet a bar should sunder such sweet friends. Here in her hair, the painter plays the spider and hath woven a golden mesh to entrap the hearts of men faster than cobwebs. But her eyes, how could he see to do them? Having made one, methinks it should have power to steal both his and leave itself unfellowed, yet look how far the substance of my praise doth wrong the shadow in underprizing it. So far this shadow doth limp behind the substance. But here's the scroll, the continent and summary of my fortune. You that choose not by the view, chances fair, and chooses true. Since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new. If you be well pleased with this, and hold your fortune for your bliss, turn you where your lady is, and claim her with a loving kiss. A gentle scroll. your leave, I come by note to give and to receive, like one of two contending in a prize, that thinks he hath done well in people's eyes. Hearing applause and universal shout, giddy in spirit, still gazing in a doubt whether these pearls of praise be his or no. So thrice stand I, fair lady, even so, as doubtful whether what I see be true, until confirmed, signed, ratified by you.
You see me, Lord Bassanio, where I stand, such as I am. Though, for myself alone, I would not be ambitious in my wish to wish myself much better. But for you, I would be troubled 20 times myself, 1,000 times more fair, 10,000 times more rich. That, only to stand high in your account, I might in virtues, beauties, livings, friends exceed account. But the full sum of me is sum of something, which in terms gross is an unlessoned girl, unschooled, unpracticed. And happy in this, she is not yet so old, but she may learn. Happier than this, she is not bred so dull, but she can learn. Happiest of all is that her gentle spirit commits itself to yours to be directed, as from her lord, her governor, her king. Myself and what is mine, to you and yours is now converted. But now I was lord of this fair mansion, master of my servants, queen o'er myself, and even now, what now? This house, these servants, and the same myself are yours, my lord. I give them with this ring, which when you part from, lose, or give away, let it presage the ruin of your love, and be my vantage to exclaim on you.
Madam, you have bereft me of all words. Only my blood speaks to you in my veins, and there is such confusion in my powers, as after an oration fairly spoke by beloved prince, that there doth appear among the buzzing pleased multitude, where every something being blent together turns to a wild of nothing, save of joy unexpressed and expressed. But when this ring parts from this finger, then parts life from hence. Oh, then be bold to say Bassanio's dead.
My lord and lady, it is now our time that have stood by and seen our wishes prosper to cry good joy. Good joy, my lord and lady.
My good Lord Bassanio, my gentle lady, I do wish you both all the joy that you can wish, for I'm sure you can wish none from me. But when your honors me to solemnize the bargain of your faith, even at that time, I do beseech you, I may be married too.
With all my heart, so thou canst get a wife.
I thank your lordship. You have got me one.
Huh?
My eyes, my lord, look as swift as yours. You beheld the mistress. I beheld the maid. You loved, I loved. For intermission no more pertains to me, my lord, than you. For your fortune rested upon that casket there, as did mine too, as so the matter falls, for wooing until I sweat again, and sweating until my very roof was dry with oaths of love. At last, as promised last, I received a promise of this fair one here, to have her love, provided your fortune achieve her mistress.
Is this true, Nerissa?
Madam, it is, so you stand pleased withal.
And do you, Gratiano, mean good faith?
Yes, faith, my lord.
Why, then our feast shall be much honored in your marriage.
Oh, but who comes here? Lorenzo and his infidel? What? And my good Venetian friend, Salanio.
Lorenzo and Salanio, welcome hither. If that the youth of my new interest here hath power to bid you welcome. By your leave, sweet Portia, I bid my very friends and countrymen welcome.
So do I, my lord. They are entirely welcome.
I thank your honor. For my part, my lord, my purpose is not to have seen you here. But in meeting with Salanio, by the way, he didn't treat me past all, saying nay. Do come with him along.
I did, my lord, and I have reason for it. Signor Antonio commends him to you.
Ere I ope this letter, I pray you tell me how my good friend doth.
Not sick, my lord, unless it be in mind. Nor well, unless in mind. His letter will show you his estate.
Nerissa, cheery on, stranger. Bitter welcome. Your hand, Salanio. How are things in Venice? How doth that royal merchant, good Antonio? He will be glad to hear of our successes, for we are the Jasons. We have won the fleece.
I would you'd won the fleece that he hath lost.
There are some shrewd contents in yon same paper that steals the color from Bassanio's cheek. Some dear friend dead, else nothing in the world could turn so much the constitution of any constant man. But worse and worse. With leave, Bassanio, I'm half your son, and I must freely have the half of infamy that this same paper brings me.
Sweet Portia, here are a few of the unpleasantest words that ever blotted paper. Gentle lady, when I did first impart my love to you, I freely told you all the wealth I had ran in my veins. I was a gentleman, and then I told you true. And yet, in rating myself at nothing, you shall see how much I was a braggart. When I told you my state was nothing, I should have then told you that I was worse than nothing. For indeed I have engaged myself to a dear friend, engaged my friend to his mere enemy to feed my means. Here is the letter, lady, the paper the body of my friend, in every word a gaping wound issuing life blood. But is it true, Salanio? Hath all his ventures failed? What, not one hit?
Not one, my lord. Besides, it should appear that if he had the present money to discharge the Jew, he would not take it. Never have I known a creature that did bear the shape of a man, so keen and greedy as to confound a man. He plies the Duke at morning and at night, and doth impeach the freedom of the state, if they deny him justice. 20 merchants, the Duke himself, and the magnificos of greatest port have all persuaded with him. But none can drive him from the envious plea of forfeiture, of justice and his bond.
When I was with him, I've heard him swear that he would rather have a pound of Antonio's flesh than 20 times the value of the sum that he did owe him. And I know, my lord, if law, authority, and power deny not, it will go hard with poor Antonio.
Is it your dear friend that is thus in trouble?
The dearest friend to me, the kindest man, the best conditioned and unwearied spirit in doing courtesies, one in whom the ancient Roman honor appears more than any that draw breath in Venice.
What sum will see the Jew?
For me, 3,000 ducats.
What? No more? Pay him 6,000 and efface the bond. Double 6,000 and then treble that, before a friend of his description shall lose a hair through Bassanio's fault. First, come with me to church and call me wife, and then away to Venice to your friend. For never shall you lie by Portia's side with an unquiet soul. You shall have gold to pay the petty debt 20 times over. And when it is paid, bring your true friend along. My maid Marissa and myself, meantime, will live as maids and widows. Therefore come away, for you shall hence upon your wedding day. Bid your friends welcome, show a merry cheer. Sincere, dear bot, I will love you, dear. But let me hear the letter of your friend.
Sweet Bassanio, all my ships have miscarried. My creditors grow cruel, my estate is very low, and my bond to the Jew is forfeit. And since in paying it, it should be impossible that I should live.
If I should live, all debts are clear between you and I, if I might but see you at my death. Notwithstanding, use your pleasure. If your love do not persuade you to come, let not my letter. Oh, love, dispatch all business and be gone.
Since I have your good leave to go away, I will make haste. But until I return, no bed shall e'er be guilty of my stay, no rest interposer twixt us twain.
Jailer, look to him. Tell me not of mercy. This is the fool that lent out money grants. Jailer, look to him.
Hear me yet, good Shylock.
I'll have my bond. Speak not against my bond. I have sworn an oath that I will have my bond. Thou call'st me dog before thou hadst a cause. But since I am a dog, beware my fangs. The Duke shall grant me justice. I do wonder, thou naughty jailer, that thou art so fond to come with him abroad.
I pray thee, hear me speak.
I'll have my bond. I will not hear you speak. I'll have my bond. And therefore speak no more. I'll not be made a soft and delight fool to shake the head, relent and sigh and yield to Christian intercessors. Follow not. I'll have no more speaking. I'll have my bond.
It is the most impenetrable cur that ever kept with men.
I'll follow him no more with bootless prayers. He seeks my life, his reason well I know. I oft delivered from his forfeitures. Many have at times made known to me, and therefore he hates me.
I am sure the Duke will not allow this forfeiture to hold.
The Duke cannot deny the course of law. For the commodity that strangers have with us in Venice, if it be denied, will much impeach the justice of the state, since that the trade and profit consisteth of all nations. Therefore go. These griefs and losses have so baited me, I shall hardly spare a pound of flesh tomorrow to my bloody creditor. Well, jailer, on. Pray God Bassanio come tomorrow and see me pay his debt. Then I care not.
Madam, although I speak in your presence, you have a noble and true conceit of godly enmity, which appears most strongly in bearing thus the efforts of your lord. But if you knew to whom you show this honor, how true a gentleman you send relief, how dear a lover of my lord, your husband, I know you be proud of the work and customary bounty can enforce you.
I never did repent for doing good, nor shall not now. For in companions that do converse and waste the time together, whose souls do bear an equal yoke of love, there must be needs a like proportion of lineaments, of manners, and of spirit. Which makes me think that this Antonio, being the bosom lover of my lord, must needs be like my lord. If it be so, how little is the cost I have bestowed in purchasing the semblance of my soul from out of the state of hellish misery. This comes too near the praising of myself, therefore no more of it. Hear other things. Lorenzo, I commit into your hands the husbandry and management of my house until my lord's return. For my own part, I have toward heaven breathed a secret vow to live in prayer and contemplation, only attended by Nerissa here until her husband and my lord's return. There is a monastery 2 miles off, and there we will abide. I do desire you not to deny this imposition, for which my love and some necessity now lays upon you.
Madam, with all my heart I shall obey you in all fair commands.
My people do already know my mind, and will acknowledge you and Jessica in place of Lord Bassanio and myself. And so, farewell till we meet again.
Fair thoughts and happy hours attend on you.
I wish your ladyship all hearts content.
I thank you for your wish, and am well pleased to wish it back on you. Fare you well, Jessica. Now, Balthazar, as I have ever found the honest truth, so let me find thee still. Take this same letter, and use thou all endeavor of a man in speed to Padua. See thou render this into my cousin's hand, Dr. Bellario, and look what notes and garments he doth give thee. Bring them, I pray thee, with imagined speed, unto the tract, to the common ferry which trades to Venice. Waste no time in words, but get thee gone, I shall be there before thee.
Madam, I go with all convenient speed.
Come on, Nerissa, I work in hand that you yet know not of. We shall see our husbands before they think of us.
Shall they see us?
They shall, Nerissa, but in such habit they shall think we are accomplished with what we lack. I'll hold thee any wager, when we are both accoutred like young men, I'll prove the prettier fellow of the two, and wear my dagger with the braver grace, and speak between change of man and boy with a reed voice. And turn 2 mincing steps into a manly stride, and speak a phrase like a fine young youth, and tell quaint lies. How honorable ladies sought my love, which I denied, they fell sick and died. I could not do with all. Then I'll repent and wish for all that I had not killed them. And 20 of these puny lies I'll tell, that men shall swear I discontinued school above a 12-month. I have within my mind 1,000 raw tricks of these bragging jacks which I will practice.
Why, shall we turn to men?
Why, what a question's that, if thou wert near a lewd interpreter. But come, tell me all my whole device when I am in my coach, which stays for us at the park gate. And therefore haste away, for we must measure 20 miles today.
Yes, truly, for look you, the sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. Therefore, I promise ye, I fear ye. I've always been playing with ye, and so now I shall speak my agitation of the matter. Therefore, be of good cheer, for truly I think you are damned. There is but one good hope at that,
bastard hope neither.
And what hope is that, I pray thee?
Marry, and hope your father got you not, that you are not the Jew's daughter.
That were kind of bastard hope indeed. So the sins of my mother should be visited upon me.
Well, truly, then, it is as I feared. You are damned both by your father and your mother. Thus, when I shun Celia, your father, I fall into Charybdis, your mother. Well, you are gone both ways.
I shall be saved by my husband. He hath made me a Christian.
The more the blame he. We were all Christians now before, living by each other, one by another. Thus, the making of more Christians made them raise the price of hogs. And raise the price of hogs if we shall all grow to eat pork, why we shall not have a rasher of coals for the money.
I will tell my husband, Launcelot, what you say. Here he comes.
I shall grow jealous of you shortly, Lancelot, if you thus get my wife into corners.
Nay, you need not fear us, Lorenzo. Launcelot and I are out. He tells me flatly there is no mercy for me in heaven, because I am a Jew's daughter. And he says you are no good member of the Commonwealth, for in converting Jews to Christians, you raise the price of pork.
I shall answer that. Go in, Sarah. Bid them prepare for dinner.
That is done, sir. They all have stomachs.
Good ye Lord. What a whipsnapper are you? Then bid them prepare dinner.
That is done too, sir. Only covers the word.
Will you cover then?
Not so, sir, neither. I know my duty.
Yet more quarreling with occasion. Wilt thou show thy whole wealth of thy wit in an instant? I pray thee, understand a plain man in his plain meaning. Go to thy fellows. Bid them cover the table. Serve in the meat. And we will come in to dinner.
As for the table, sir, that shall be served in. The meat, it shall be covered. And as for you coming to dinner, sir, why let it be as humorous and conceit shall govern.
Dear discretion, how his words are suited. The fool's plan is memory, an army of good words. And I do know many fools. Stand in better place, garnish like him for a tricksy word to fight a matter. How cheerest thou, Jessica? And now, good sweet, say thy opinion. How dost thou like the Lord Bassanio's wife?
Past all expressing. Why, 'tis very meet the Lord Bassanio live an upright life. For in having such a blessing in his lady, he finds the joys of heaven here on earth. And if on earth he do not mean it, then in reason he should never come to heaven. Why, if two gods were to play some heavenly match, and on the wager lay two earthly women, and Portia won, there must be something else pawned with the other, for the poor rude world hath not her fellow.
Even such a husband hast thou of me, as she is for a wife.
Nay, but ask my opinion too of that.
I will anon. First let us go to dinner.
Nay, let me praise you while I have a stomach.
No, pray thee. Let it serve for table talk. Then how sorrow thou speaks amongst other things, I shall digest it.
Well, I'll set you forth.
Antonio here.
Ready, so please your grace.
I am sorry for thee. Thou art come to answer a stony adversary.
I have heard your grace had take great pains to qualify his rigorous course. Since he stands obdurate, and that no lawful means can carry me from his envy's reach, I do oppose my patience to his fury. I am armed and prepared to suffer with the quietness of spirit the very tyranny and rage of his.
Go one and call the Jew into the courts. He is ready at the door. He comes, my lord. Make room and let him stand before our face. Shylock, the world thinks, and I think so too, that thou but leadest this fashion of thy malice to the last hour of act. And then 'tis thought thou'lt show thy mercy and remorse, more strange than is thy strange pair of cruelty. And where thou now exacts the penalty, which is a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, thou wilt not only lose the forfeiture, but touch with human gentleness and love forgive a moiety of the principal. We all expect a gentle answer, Jew.
I have possessed your grace of what I purpose, and by our Sabbath have I sworn an oath to have the due and forfeit of my bond. If you deny it, let the danger light upon your charter and your city's freedom. You'll ask me why I choose rather to have a pound of carrion flesh than to receive 3,000 ducats. I'll not answer that, but say it is my humor. Is it to answer? So can I give no reason, nor I will not, more than a certain hate and lodged loathing I bear Antonio, that I follow thus a losing suit against him. Are you answered?
This is no answer, thou unfeeling man, to excuse the current of thy cruelty.
I am not bound to please thee with my answers.
Do all men kill the things they do not love?
Hates any man the thing he would not kill?
Every offense is not a hate at first.
What? Wouldst thou have a serpent sting thee twice?
I pray you, think you question with the Jew? You may as well go stand upon the beach and bid the main flood bait its usual height. You may as well make question with the wolf as why he make the ewe bleat for the lamb. You may as well forbid the mountain pines to wag their high tops, and to make no noise when they are fretting with the gusts of heaven. You may as well do anything most hard, as seek to soften that, than which is harder, his Jewish heart. Therefore I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no further means, but with all brief and plain conveniency, give me my judgment and the Jew his will.
For thy 3,000 ducats, here is 6.
What judgment shall I dread? Doing were in 6 parts and every part a ducat, I would not draw them. I stand here by my bond.
How shalt thou hope for mercy, rendering none?
What judgment shall I dread, doing no wrong? You have among you many a purchased slave, which, like your asses and your dogs and mules, you use in abject and in slavish parts, because you bought them. Shall I say to you, let them be free, marry them to your heirs? Why sweat they under burthens? Let their beds be made as soft as yours, and their palates be filled with such viands. You'll say, the slaves are ours. So I answer you, the pound of flesh which I demand of him is mine. 'Tis dearly bought, and I will have it. If you deny me, fire upon your law. There is no force in the decrees of Venice. I stand here for law. Answer, shall I have it?
Upon my power I may dismiss this court, unless Bellario, a learned doctor who I sent forth to determine this, come here today.
My lord, here stays without a messenger with letters from the doctor, new come from Padua.
Bring us the letter. Call the messenger.
Good cheer, Antonio. What man courage yet? The Jew shall have my flesh, blood, bones, and all, or thou shalt lose from me 1 drop of blood.
I am a tainted brother of the flock. Meet is for death, that which falls earliest to the ground, and so let me. You cannot be better employed, Bassanio, than to live still and to write mine epitaph.
Came you from Padua, from old Bellario?
From both, my lord. Bellario greets your grace.
Why dost thou whet thy knife so earnestly?
To cut the forfeiture from that bankrupt there.
Not on thy soul, but on thy soul, harsh Jew. Thou makest thy knife keen. But no metal can, no, not the hangman's axe, bear half the keenness of thy sharp envy. Can no prayers pierce thee?
No, none that thou hast wit enough to make.
Be thou damned, inexorable dog. Thou almost makest me waver in my faith to hold opinion with Pythagoras, that souls of animals infuse themselves into the trunks of men, for thy desires are wolvish, bloody, starved, and ravenous.
Till thou canst rail the seal from off my bond, thou but offend'st thy lungs to speak so loud. Repair thy wit, good youth, or it will fall to endless ruin. I stand here for law.
This letter from Bellario doth commend a young and learned doctor to our courts. Where is he?
He attendeth here hard by to know your answer, whether you'll admit him.
With all my heart. And I take it here is the doctor come. Give me your hand. Came you from old Bellario?
I did, my lord.
You are welcome. Take your place. Are you acquainted with the difference that holds this present question in the courts?
I'm informed thoroughly of the cause. Which is the merchant here and which the Jew?
Antonio and old Shylock both stand forth.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
Of a strange nature is the suit you follow, yet in such rule that the Venetian law cannot impugn you as you do proceed. You stand within his danger, do you not?
Aye, so he says.
Do you confess the bond?
I do.
Then must the Jew be merciful.
On what compulsion must I? Tell me that.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives, and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty, wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the hearts of kings. It is an attribute to God himself, and earthly power doth then show likest God when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us should see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and that same prayer doth teach us all to render to the deeds of mercy. I've spoken thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which, if thou follow, the strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there.
My deeds upon my head, I crave the law, the penalty and forfeit of my bond.
Is he not able to discharge the money?
Yes. Here, I tender it for him in the court. Yea, twice the sum. If that will not suffice, I shall be bound to pay it 10 times over, upon forfeit of my hands, my head, my heart. If this will not suffice, it must appear that malice bears down truth, and I beseech you, rest once the law to your authority. Do a great right, do a little wrong, and curb this cruel devil at his will.
It must not be. There's no power in Venice can alter a decree established. To be recorded for a president, and many an heir by the same example will rush into the state. It cannot be.
A Daniel, come to judgment, yea, a Daniel. Oh, wise O judge, how I do honor thee.
I pray you, let me look upon the bond.
Here it is, most reverend doctor. Here it is.
Shylock, there's thrice thy money offered thee.
An oath. An oath. I have an oath in heaven. Shall I lay perjury to my soul? No, not for Venice.
Why, this bond is forfeit, and lawfully by it the Jew may claim a pound of flesh, to be by him cut off from nearest the merchant's heart. Be merciful. Take thrice thy money, bid me tear the bond.
When it is paid according to the tenor. It doth appear you are a worthy judge. You know the law, your exposition hath been most sound. I charge you by the law, whereof you are a well-deserving pillar. Proceed to judgment. By my soul, I swear, there is no tongue in the force of man to alter me. I stand here by my bond.
I do beseech the court to give the judgment.
Why then, thus it is. You must prepare your bosom for his knife.
O noble judge, O excellent young man.
For the intent and purpose of the law hath full relation to the penalty, which here appeareth due upon the bond.
'Tis true, O wise and upright judge. How much more elder art thou than thy looks?
Therefore lay bare your bosom.
Aye, his breast. So says the bond, doth it not, noble judge? Nearest his heart. Those are the very words.
It is so. Are there balance here to weigh the flesh?
Aye, I have them ready.
Have by some surgeon Shylock on your charge, to stop his wounds, lest he do bleed to death.
Is it so nominated in the bond?
'Tis not so expressed, but what of that? 'Twere good you do so much for charity.
I cannot find it. It is not in the bond.
You, merchant, have you anything to say?
But little. I am armed and well prepared. Give me your hand, Bassanio. Grieve not that I am fallen to this for you, for herein fortune shows herself more kind than is her custom. It is still her use to let the wretched man outlive his wealth. To view with hollow eye and wrinkled brow, an age of poverty. From such lingering penance and misery doth she cut me off. Commend me to your honorable wife. Tell her the process of Antonio's end. Say how I loved you, speak me fair in death. And when the tale be told, bid her be judge, have Bassanio not once a love. Repent but you that you shall lose your friend, as he repents not that he will pay your debt. For if the Jew do cut but deep enough, I will pay this debt with all my heart.
Antonio, I am married to a wife, which is as dear to me as life itself. But life itself, my wife, and all the world are not with me esteemed above thy life. I would lose all. I sacrifice all here to this devil to deliver you.
Your wife would give you little thanks for that if she were by, to hear you make the offer.
I have a wife whom I protest, I love. But I would she were in heaven, so she could entreat some power to change this currish Jew.
'Tis well you offer it behind your back. The wish would make else an unquiet house.
These be the Christian husbands. I had a daughter. Would any of the stock of Barabbas had been her husband rather than a Christian? We trifle time. I pray thee, pursue sentence.
A pound of that merchant's flesh is thine, but the law allows it, and the court awards it.
Oh, noble judge.
And you must cut this flesh from off his breast. The court awards it, and the law doth give it.
Oh, learned judge. A sentence. Come, prepare.
Tarry a little. There is something else. This bond doth give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh. But in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are, by the laws of Venice, confiscate unto the state of Venice.
Oh, upright judge. Mark, Jew. Oh, learned judge.
Is that the law?
Thyself shalt see the act, for as thou urgest justice, be assured thou shalt have justice, more than thou desirest.
Oh, upright judge. Mark, Jew, an upright judge.
I take his bond then. Pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go.
Here's the money.
Haste, the Jew shall have all justice, soft no haste. He shall have nothing but the penalty.
Oh, Jew, a learned judge, a learned judge.
Give me my principal and let me go.
I have it ready for thee.
He hath refused it in the open court. He shall have merely justice and his bond. Therefore, prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Shed thou no blood, nor cut less, no more, but just a pound of flesh. If thou cut less or more but a just pound, be it but so much as it makes light or heavy in the substance, or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple. Nay, if the scales do turn in the estimation of a hair, thou diest and all thy goods are confiscate.
A Daniel, Jew. A second Daniel. Now, infidel, I have thee on the hip.
Shall I not have barely my principal?
Thou shalt have merely thy forfeiture, to be so taken at thy peril, Jew.
A second Daniel, still say I, a Daniel. I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me that word.
Then the devil give him good of it. I'll stay no longer questioned.
Tarry, Jew. The law hath yet another hold on you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice, if it be proved against an alien that he seek the life of any citizen, the part against the which he doth contrive shall seize one half his goods. The other half comes to the privy coffer of the state, and the offender's life lies at the mercy of the Duke only, against all other voice. In which predicament I say thou standst, for it appears, by manifest proceeding, that indirectly, and directly too, thou hast contrived against the very life of the defendant. Thou hast incurred the danger formerly by me rehearsed. Down therefore and beg mercy of the Duke.
Beg that thou mayst leave to hang thyself.
That thou shalt see the difference of our spirits. I pardon thee thy life before thou askest. For half thy wealth is Antonio's, the other half comes to the general estates, which humbleness may be driven unto a fine.
I for the state, not for Antonio.
Nay, pardon not that. You take my house when you take the prop that doth sustain my house. You take my life when you do take the means whereby I live.
What mercy can you render him
Antonio.
A halter, grass. Nothing more, for God's sake.
So please my lord the Duke, and all the court, to quit their fine of one half his goods, I am content. So he will let me have the other half, in use to render it unto his son Lorenzo and his daughter. And also that he do record a gift here in the court, of all he dies possessed, unto the gentleman that lately stole his daughter.
Art thou contented, Jew? What dost thou say?
I am content.
Clerk, draw a deed of gift.
I pray thee, let me go from hence. I am not well. Send the deed after me, and I will sign it.
Get thee gone, but do it. Sir, I entreat you to my house for dinner. I humbly do desire your grace's pardon. I must away this night towards Padua, and it is meet I presently set forth. I am sorry your letter serves you not. Antonio, gratify this man, for as I feel you are much bound to him.
Most worthy gentlemen, I and my friend have, by your wisdom, been this day acquitted of most grievous penalties. In lieu whereof 3,000 ducats due unto the Jew, we freely cope your courteous pains withal.
And stand indebted over and above in love and service to you evermore.
He is well paid that is well satisfied, and I, delivering you, am satisfied, and therein do account myself well paid. My mind was never yet more mercenary. I pray you, know me when we meet again. I wish you well, and so I take my leave.
Dear sir, of force I must attempt you further. Take some remembrance of us, as a tribute, not as a fee. Grant me two things, I pray you, not to deny me and to pardon me.
For your love, I'll take this ring from you. Do not draw back your hand, I'll take nothing else. And you in love shall not deny me this.
This ring, good sir, alas, it is a trifle. I shall not shame myself to give it to you.
I shall have nothing else, but only this. And now methinks I have a mind to it.
There's more depends on that than the value. The greatest ring in all Venice I shall find, by proclamation and give to you, but only for this I pray you pardon me.
I see, sir, you are liberal in offers. You taught me first to beg, and now methinks you teach me how a beggar should be answered.
No, good sir, this ring was given me by my wife. And when she put it on, she made me vow to neither give nor sell nor lose it.
That excuse serves many men who save their gifts. But be your wife not a mad woman, and know how well I have deserved the ring, she would not hold out enemy forever for giving it to me. Well, peace be with you.
My lord Bassanio, let him have the ring. Let his deservings and my love with all stand above your wife's commandment.
Go, Graciano. Run and overtake him, give him the ring, and bring him if thou canst unto Antonio's house. Away, make haste! Come, you and I shall thither presently, and in the morning early, will we both fly toward Belmont. Come, Antonio.
Inquire the Jew's house out, give him this and bid him sign it. We'll away tonight and be a day before our husband's home. The steed will be well welcome to Lorenzo.
Fair sir, you are well ordained. My lord Bassanio, upon more advice, hath sent you here this ring, and doth entreat your company to dinner.
That cannot be. His ring I do accept most thankfully, and so I pray you tell him. Furthermore, I pray you, show my youth old Shylock's house.
Sir, I would speak with you. I'll see if I can get my husband's ring, which I did make him swear to keep forever.
Thou mayst, I warn. We shall have on swearing that they did give their rings away to men. But will outface them, and outswear them too. Away, make haste. Thou knowst well I shall tarry.
Come, good sir, will you show me to this house?
That will I do.
shines bright. On such a night as this, when the wind did gently kiss the trees and they did make no noise. On such a night, did Jessica steal from a wealthy Jew and, with an unthrift love, run from Venice as far as Belmont?
And in such a night, did young Lorenzo swear he loved her well, stealing her soul in many vows of faith, and ne'er a true one.
And in such a night, did pretty Jessica, like a little shrew, slander her love, and he forgave it her?
I would have tonight, dear, did nobody come. Hark, I hear the footing of a man.
Who comes so fast in the silence of the night?
A friend.
A friend? What friend? Your name, I pray thee, friend.
Balthasar is my name, and I bring word my mistress will, before the break of day, be here at Belmont. She does stray about by holy crosses, where she kneels and prays for happy wedlock hours.
Who comes with her?
None but a holy hermit and her maid. I pray you, is my master yet returned?
He is not yet, nor have we not heard from him. But go in, I pray thee, Jessica, and ceremoniously let us prepare some welcome for the mistress of this house.
Salah, Salah! Woo-ha-ho! Salah, Salah!
Who calls?
Salah! Have you seen Master Lorenzo? Master Lorenzo! Salah!
Leave following, man, here.
Salah, where? Where?
Here.
Tell him there's a post come from my master. His horns are full with good news. He will be here ere morning.
Sweet soul lets in, and there expect their coming. Yet, no matter, why should we go in? My friend Balthasar, signify, I pray thee, your mistress is at the house, and bring forth your music into the air. Sweet the moonlight sleeps upon this bank. Here we will sit and let the sounds of music creep in our ears, soft stillness in the night and the touches of sweet harmony. Sit, Jessica. Look how the floor of heaven is thickly inlaid with patterns of bright gold. Is not the smallest orb which thou beholds, that in his motion like an angel sings, still quieted the young cherubims. Such harmony is in immortal souls. But whilst this money vesture decay doth grossly close in it, we cannot hear it.
I am never merry when I hear sweet music.
The reason is your spirits are unattended. For do but note a wild and wanton herd, fetching mad bows, bellowing and neighing loudly, for it is the hot condition of their blood. For if they do perchance hear a trumpet sound, or any air of music touch their ears, you shall perceive them make mutual stand. Their savage eyes turn to a modest gaze at the sweet power of music.
That light we see is burning in my hall. How far that little candle throws his beams. So shines a good deed in a naughty world.
When the moon shone, we did not see the candle.
So doth the greater glory dim the less. The substitute shines as brightly as a king, unto the king we buy. And then his state enters itself, as often in the brook into the main of waters. Music, hark.
It is your music, madam, of the house.
All is not good, I see, without respect. Methinks it sounds much sweeter than by day.
Silence bestows that virtue on it, madam.
The crow doth sing as sweetly as the lark when neither's attended. And I think the nightingale, if she were to sing by day when every goose is cackling, would be thought no better musician than the wren. How many things by seasons seasoned are, unto their right praise and true perfection. Peace, hope. The moon sleeps within dimming and would not be awaked.
That is the voice, or my much deceived of Portia.
He knows me as the blind man knows the cuckoo, by the bad voice.
Dear lady, welcome home.
We've been praying for our husband's health, which speed we hope the better for our words. Are they returned?
Madam, they are not. But there has come a messenger before to signify their coming.
Go in, Nerissa, and give order to my servants that they take no note at all of our being absent hence. Nor you, Lorenzo, Jessica, nor you.
Madam, your husband is at hand. We are no telltales, madam. Fear you not.
This night, methinks, is but the daylight sick. It looks a little paler. 'Tis a day such as a day is when the sun is hid.
We should hold day with the Antipodes if you would walk in absence of the sun.
Let me give light, but let me not be light. For a light wife doth make a heavy husband, and never be Bassanio so for me. But, God's sword law, you are welcome home, my lord.
Give welcome to my friend. This is Signor Antonio, to whom I am so infinitely bound.
You should in all sense be bound to him, for as I hear, he was much bound for you.
No more than I am well acquitted of.
Sir, you are welcome. This must appear in ways other than words, therefore I scant this breathing courtesy.
By yonder moon, I swear you do me wrong. Oh, in faith, I gave it to a judge's clerk. Would he were guilt that had it, for my part, since you do take it, love, so much at heart.
A quarrel? Ho, already? Well, what's the matter?
About a hoop of gold, a paltry ring that she did give to me, whose posy was for all the world like a cutlass upon a knife. Love me and leave me not.
What talk ye of the posy or the value? You swore to me when I did give it you that you would wear it till your hour of death, and that it should lie with you in your grave. Though not for me, yet for your vehement oaths. You should have been respective and have kept it. Gave the judge's clerk. But well I know the clerk will ne'er wear hair on space that had it.
He will if you live to be a man.
I, if a woman lived to be a man.
Now by this hand, I gave it to a kind of youth, a little scrubbed boy no taller than thyself. A prating boy, a judge's clerk, who begged it as a fee. I could not for my heart deny it him.
You were to blame. I must be plain. To part so slightly with your wife's first gift, a thing stuck on with O's upon your finger and so riveted with faith unto your flesh. I gave my love a ring, and here he stands. I dare be sworn for him, you never part with it or pluck it from his finger for the wealth the world masters. Now, in faith, Rocio, you give your wife too unkind a cause of grief. And twere to me, I should be mad at it.
Oh, it were best I cut my left hand off and swear I lost it defending the ring.
My lord Bassanio gave his ring away unto the judge that begged it, and deserved it too. And the clerk that took some pains in writing begged mine. And neither man nor master would take out but the 2 rings.
What ring gave you, my lord? Not that, my hope, which you received of me.
If I could add lie unto a fault, I would deny it. But you see my finger hath not the ring upon it. It is gone.
Even so void is your false heart of truth. By heaven, I will ne'er come into your bed until I see the ring.
Nor I in yours till I again see mine.
Sweet Portia, if you did know to whom I gave the ring, if you did know for whom I gave the ring, and could conceive for what I gave the ring, or see how unwillingly I left the ring, would be accepted but the ring, I think you would abate the strength of your displeasure.
If you had known the value of the ring, or half her worthiness that gave the ring, or your own honor to contain the ring, you would not then have parted with the ring. What man is there so much unreasonable? If you had pleased to defend it with any term of zeal, one of the thing held as a ceremony. Narissa teaches me what to believe. Kind God, or some woman had the ring.
No woman, by my honor, madam, by my soul, no woman had it, but a civil doctor, which did refuse of me 3,000 ducats and begged the ring. Which I did deny him, and suffered him to go displeased away, even that he did uphold the very life of my dear friend. What should I say, sweet lady? I was forced to send it after him. I was beset with shame and courtesy. My honor would not let ingratitude so much besmear it. Hear me, and by these blessed candles of the night, were you there, I think you would have begged me to give the ring to the doctor.
Let that doctor ne'er come to my house, since he hath got the jewel that I loved, and that which you did swear to keep from me. I'll become as liberal as you. I'll not deny him anything I have. No, not my body, nor my husband's bed. Know him I shall, I am well sure of it. Lie not a night from home, watch me like Argus. If you do not, if I be left alone, now by mine honor, which is yet mine own, I'll have that doctor for my bedfellow.
And I his clerk, therefore be well advised how you do leave me to mine own protection.
Well, do you so then, but let me not have him. I'll mar the young clerk's pen.
I am the unhappy subject of these quarrels.
Sir, grieve not you. You are welcome notwithstanding.
Sweet Portia, Forgive me this enforced wrong, and in the hearing of thus many friends, I swear to thee, even by thine own fair eyes, wherein I do see myself,
Mark about that. In both of my eyes he sees himself, in each eye one. Swear by your double self, and there's an oath of credit.
Nay, but hear me. Forgive me, and I swear by my soul I shall never more break an oath with thee.
I once did lend my body for his wealth. Wish but for the man that had your husband's ring had quite miscarried. I dare be bound again, my soul upon the forfeit, that your lord will never more break faith advisedly.
Then you shall be his surety. Give him this, and bid him keep it better than the other.
My lord Bassanio, swear to keep this ring.
It is the same I gave the doctor.
Pardon me, Bassanio, for by this ring the doctor lay with me.
And pardon me, my gentle Graciano, for that same scrub boy, the doctor's clerk, in lieu of this last night, did lie with me.
What, are we cuckolds ere we have deserved it?
Speak not so grossly. You're all amazed. Here is a letter. Read it at your leisure. It comes from Padua, from Bellaria. There you shall find that Portia was the doctor, Nerissa there, her clerk. Lorenzo shall witness I set forth as soon as you, and e'en but now return. I have not yet entered my house. Antonio, you are welcome. I have better news in store for you than you expect. Unseal this letter soon, and there you shall find that 3 of your ships have richly come to harbor suddenly. I will not know by what strange accident I chanced on this letter.
I am dumb.
Were you the doctor and I knew you not?
Were you the clerk that is to make me cuckold?
Aye, but the clerk that never means to do it, unless he live until he be a man.
Sweet doctor, you shall be my bedfellow. And when I am absent, lie with my wife. Sweet lady, you have given me life and living, for here I read that all of my ships have come to road.
How now, Lorenzo? My clerk has some good news, too, for you.
Aye, and I'll give them him without a fee. There do I give to you and Jessica from the rich Jew a special deed of gift, after his death of all he dies possessed of.
It is almost morning, and yet I'm sure you are not all satisfied with these events at full. Let us go in and charge us thereupon interrogatories, and we will answer all things faithfully.
it was really interesting also when we did the production, we also did the Thousand Cranes.
That's right.
We put them, go ahead.
Well, this was a time when the United States was preparing to or had already gone into Iraq.
Yeah.
And the play itself deals with anti-Semitism and prejudice. And it was the right play to do at that time, I think, because we could sort of create a kind of resolution in the play in the hope of a more peaceful world. I just remember it being everyone wanted to work towards that goal. And I can remember being in the Centennial Room, folding those cranes,
Yeah.
folding those cranes, and hanging them from the pipes.
Well, and we also solicited from other people and we got help from a lot of our international students and other students on campus of creating more and more of the cranes, but we ended up with 1,000, and we hung them throughout the entire lobby of the forum.
The forum, underground,
and it was just so much fun to walk through and see them and actually have a reason for what it was. But that's where kind of theater and art installation kind of mixed at that particular moment. But it was a very interesting show, and I thought that it was very poignant, and it was inside and outside.
The cranes were also kinetic, because when people walked underneath them, the air eddies would move them around.
So
it was beautiful.
It was really, really great.
Yep.
We hope you enjoyed BVU's 2003 production of Merchant of Venice. Thank you to our wonderful alumni who's submitted monologues and memories of the time of the program. Thank you all who have supported us over the years. And finally, thank you for those who are helping celebrate BVU theater by tuning into this series.
See you next time on BVU Theater Remembers, the wit and wisdom of Shakespeare in replay.